RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right, guys, what's up? My name is Tara Devlin. Oh my God, I just realized I forgot to turn the phones on. All right, whatever. Nobody cares. I turned the phones on last night and nobody called, so I guess maybe my subconscious was being a brat and didn't set the phones up. But so we don't have phones. All right. My name is Tara Devlin. Guys, thanks for hanging out. This is unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. And don't we need that? Aren't you sick of the Republican Party or just conservative meanness? I'm really... I'm up to from the tips of my toes to the top of my head. I'm overflowing with disdain for the cruelty of Republicans. And this is who we are? You know, that's what really is the most depressing part, because I'm referring to right now basically what happened with on that movie set with Alec Baldwin when he shot somebody by accident. It was a terrible tragedy, and someone died. And the Republicans, nothing is sacred anymore. They're attacking Alec Baldwin. They think that this is a proper way for adults to behave. Now, how, I have to ask, how do you have a functioning, or how do you not even forget great, how do you have a good country when you have horrible people mocking their opponents when they have a horrible tragedy befall them? And not just Alec Baldwin. I'm talking about, of course, this poor woman who lost her life on a movie set. And the Republicans, they don't even wait. They don't take a breath. It is repugnant. They're disgusting. Guys, they are disgusting. They are waste of human DNA. And, you know, if kids act like this, we would punish them. You know what I mean? You'd send them to bed without supper or something. But you wouldn't elect them. You wouldn't give them power. More power to wreck your entire country. This is a poison. This disgusting... How do you go from e pluribus unum to... you shot somebody by accident. It's beyond disgusting. And these people they proclaim to be Christian, right? And they purport to be all about babies and America, like everything that's good, right? They're all about freedom and apple pie and moms and families and beautiful things happening in bathrooms, not the wrong peepees in a bathroom, or they're all about just the greatest things in life. NASCAR and nastiness, I guess. That's what it means. The reason they could get away with treating other human beings the way that they treat other human beings is because they don't think that that they are human beings. Do you know what I mean? So that's why in every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. It's on display right here in this episode. You dehumanize people to such a point that nothing is sacred anymore. There's no pain that is too something that you would avoid. It's beyond, I don't even know. Obviously, I'm having a hard time processing it. I really am. Because it's just sickening. This is why we're all sick. How do you have a great country? How do you have a good country? I was just watching Obama. He's giving a speech in New Jersey because for some reason there are still people that vote Republican. Can you believe this shit? For some reason, there are a bunch of assholes out there. There are millions of them. They clearly, I don't know what they're doing. They want us. I mean, it's 700,000 dead aren't enough for them, and vile, repugnant, abusive, bullyish behavior, and the incessant lies. These aren't enough. It's not enough. More money to the top. That's not enough for them. They want more of that. They said, you know what, 700,000 dead, and insanity from sea to shining sea. We want that back. Let's get that back. Let's get all the bullshit, the lies. Every time Trump opened his mouth, nothing but flies and stench came out, and on the backs of lies. So, that's what they want. They want to vote for that. It's fascinating to me, but unfortunately, it would be more fascinating if I didn't live here, right? If I was watching from beyond, from the safety of borders in a civilized nation. Let's say Sweden, That's the place where we were talking about this last night, because conservatives are a bunch of they're morons, They lack the intellectual curiosity. They know how to fall down a Q hole. Why don't they fall down a truth hole? You know what I mean? They never do. Why is it that when they fall into an obsessive, whatever, when they go on 4chan, where the fuck they spend their wasted, useless lives? Like whenever they go online, they don't fall into informing themselves. Do you know? They fall ass backwards into stupidity and conspiracy theories and insanity, just absolute insanity. Why won't they? If only they spent all that time, I don't know, scouring the internet, looking for the formula for COVID that all the world scientists must have missed. Because they're getting to the bottom of it. They're in some basement in Louisiana. Oh my God. Yeah. So where is it? Guys, I see people going into the chat room. Nice. Thank you. I see you, Anthony. Thanks for hanging out. And of course, Jim, thank you for your super chat right out of the gate. And thank you, JD, for your super chat in pounds, you lucky bastard. God damn it. Here, let's just read this. Where is it? Where the heck is it? And what I want to talk about tonight is I just wanted to talk about the what we were talking about right now. Hold on. Where is it? I want to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene calling Liz Cheney a traitor. And, now the Republicans they've devolved into, obviously, they're a fascist movement trying to destroy democracy. But there's no legislating going on here. It's just screaming matches on the floor. And it's one-sided screaming matches. The Democrats don't go back at them. There's one half of the two major political parties in this country. One of those major political parties is infested with morons and nuts. I was going to say mutts, so mixed it up. But this is what they do now. That's what you vote for, right? I want more screaming matches on the floor of the House. This is functional. Make America great, right? I love America so much that I'm going to send this unhinged asshole, you know, and she's going to do nothing but scream at people on the House floor. Okay, good going, Republicans. And the other thing, what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, right before we went on the air, this Facebook papers, they're calling it, it broke. Apparently, Facebook was the executives of Facebook, they were well aware of the lies that they were pouring into our body politic and poisoning it. And that's why we don't want billionaires sitting in and lording over us. That's why the founders rebelled, God damn it. All right. Hold on, everybody. Now here comes the cat. Great. Can't I just do one thing? Hold on. Let me look here. Papers, suckers, bet, social media platform. That's the other thing. I wanted to talk about Donald Trump's his social media platform called Truth, which was hacked in less than 24 hours. It was hacked. It's obviously it sucks because that's Trump. He sucks. He hasn't ever had an original idea. He's not an innovator. He just ripped off somebody's code and he's trying to make Twitter for conservatives. That's what he's trying to do. So, and what was the other thing? Kill the administration in the crib. Cinema blocks the corporate tax hike. I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh, the other thing I thought I make notes and I'm like, there's so many things to talk about. It never stops. The other thing was Marjorie Taylor Greene's Zoom call. I don't know if you saw that. She was interrupted or silenced by the judge. She was giving testimony in a hearing for Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. And the judge said, do you know this person? She doesn't know this person. But she was giving character testimony because she just likes the guy. You know what I mean? It's like me. I would give a character. Let me give, Chris Hayes a character. Hey, I like his show. I like it. That's what she did because that's who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. That's the Republican Party. They're useless and they are well above their heads. Right there. You know, it shows you Marjorie Taylor Greene's disconnection from reality. That she would actually take time out of her day to show up and in a legal proceeding, I should say, and not really have anything relevant to contribute, but think that she's somehow important to the proceedings. You know what I mean? And that's the Republicans right there. Because what the hell business does she have? What is she doing in the House? Nothing. She's just showing up because, you know what I mean? And that it's the same thing here. She used the not only did she gave character testimony for somebody she didn't even know, but then she used this Zoom call that was a legal proceeding, I should say. She used it to call for the impeachment of Joe Biden. It's really fucking madness. It's goddamn madness. What is it like in England, JD? Are you in England? Because is this something that would happen there? Would you have such a somebody who is, as AOC says, deeply troubled? That's the most charitable thing you can say about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's deeply troubled, but she doesn't know it. And Republicans are so not aware they're not self-aware because that takes maturity. So they project everything outwards. They're also, they don't, and it's because they're mentally ill, they don't have a grasp on their limitations. That's it, in a nutshell. Because being mental, that's mental illness. You don't know your limitations. Real mental illness. You know what I mean? Not just regular, what I got, like dysthymia, like feeling a little blue. All right. That's just an aside. Where's the other thing? Because I was looking for this other story. Wait. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Here we go. This is from Salon. Republicans rush to mock Alec Baldwin in wake of tragic film accident. And, I mean, yeah, I'm angry. Anger is it's easy, you know what I mean? But anger, as I've learned in therapy, is really the mask of sadness. And that's what I feel. Well, really, when it comes down to it, when I read something like this, it makes me infuriated because it's a more accessible, I guess, or comfortable place. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel passive. It doesn't feel like I'm a victim. If I get angry about it, maybe I can do something about it, because this is disgusting. This is absolutely vile. And you know that if the shoe was on the other foot, Democrats, absolutely no Democrats would say anything but sending condolences or whatever. You know that. For everything we can say about Democrats, and I do, they don't have this kind of ugliness. This is disgusting. There is no healing. There's no making America great. There's none of that in a country filled with people who don't believe that their fellow Americans are human and deserve any kind of compassion in any way or any human considerations. And what is Alec Baldwin's crime in their eyes? Oh, he hates Twitler. He, like the normal patriotic Americans, and anybody who isn't an absolute sociopath or a greed-centered ghoul or ghost of the Gilded Age, hates that disgusting con man. That's a natural reaction to things that suck, But for what? Because what? Alec Baldwin thinks that people shouldn't needlessly die without health care? Is that it? That's what they don't like? Is it that he doesn't buy the bullshit, doesn't buy Trump's lies? But ultimately, that's the big crime, right? You're a Democrat. What does that mean? You don't want to, step over homeless people. You want people to have decent lives. What a horrible thing. And what do the Republicans? What are they doing? Nothing. What are they doing? How do they? This is the thing. How do they think this is okay? You know what I mean? So, for example, here we go. Here's the article. Less than 24 hours after a tragic New Mexico film set accident involving Alec Baldwin claimed the life of a cinematographer and injured the movie's director, Republicans were already making light of the incident and cracking jokes about Alec Baldwin, a long-time right-wing boogeyman. The A-lister was reportedly rehearsing a scene in a Western called Rust when he fired a prop gun that was loaded with a live single round. The shot killed the film's 42-year-old director of photography and injured the director. The International Alliance of Theater Stage Employees said in an email to its member, just hours after the incident broke, Ohio Senate candidate J.D. Vance was gloating about the situation. Gloating! Oh my God. Gloating about a dead woman. God in heaven. Really, how disgusting. I don't even know what to say about this. They're just gross, and they need to be relegated to permanent minority status, legally and peacefully. Or this is what we are. This is the future. It's going to get worse. We see that Republicans are morally bankrupt, and they don't have any interest in a functioning democracy. We see that. That's clear. There's no reasoning with them. There's no modeling good behavior. This is what I see the Democrats doing, modeling. That's what you do for kids. Be positive reinforcement. Well, that's not working. We've been doing that, and everything's gotten worse. Now, tonight I saw Obama. He's speaking in New Jersey, and it's just, what was he saying? Oh, because the Build Back Better plan is being fucked into 1,000 little pieces and shrunk to the size of whatever they can drown in a bathtub. That's what's happening. I'm very concerned about it. Of course, one of the things that they removed from the bill, which is a big mistake in my opinion, is they removed the dental, vision and hearing coverage for seniors in the expansion of Medicare or Medicaid. And they took that out? Why the fuck would you do that? Why are you... I guess, I think you know what it is? It's Democrats are, they're primed to fail constantly. They never fight. And of course, in this situation, I mean, we're really in a very bad situation. But in this situation, what's the word? Is there another word for this? I keep thinking about it. I don't want to say situation because it makes me think of the Jersey Shore asshole. But they, we're in big ass trouble. God damn it, that's for sure. And I don't know. I just wonder if we're gonna make it because there's so much work, and then you have the Democrats fucking it up as usual. And but the whole story of the decline of the American experiment is the story of enabling Democrats, allowing it to happen. That's why I hold them more responsible in a way, because they saw it. You know what I mean? And instead of fighting, because you have to have the courage of your convictions. You have to have convictions in order to fight, in order to have the courage of those convictions. And I was under the impression that we're all for universal health care, universal higher education, all of these things. And so tonight, Obama was saying how we didn't get everybody health care, but we got a heck of a lot more folks health care. We didn't get everybody tax break or whatever the fuck. I mean, he went on a list, but we didn't get this, but we got some. We got this. We got that. I mean, this is the language of learned helplessness. Yeah, we can take this incremental. Well, incremental. How many people have to incrementally die? How many needless deaths incrementally do we have to endure? I mean, it's really, that's the question. How much is incrementalism? Is that the remedy for fascism? We're facing a fascist goddamn oncoming train, and we got incrementalism. Now, when the Democrats took, they had to because of it is the Democrats' fault. We have 50 Democrats and the vice president. Obviously, we don't except for Cinnamon Mansion, they suck. Oh yes, but we've been losing the House. Nancy Pelosi, we lost seats in the House. We barely scraped by. How is this even a thing? It's so bizarre to me, and this is probably why I get despondent, because I think, how is it even happening? Look at the choices. You know, we have 700,000 dead, or or maybe a functioning democracy, and there are still millions who are like, yeah, I want that orange con man guy, that guy. That's why I feel like, holy shit, we're done. But I don't know. It's really beyond belief. So when they took the dental, vision, and hearing out of Medicare, what are you going to run on? Dental, vision, and hearing, the expansion of Medicare, people were excited about that. Seniors, they were looking forward to that, finally being able to go to a goddamn dentist. You know? And we can't get it. We tried. And there's enough for everybody's need, just not for everybody's greed. Sorry. Excuse me? And like we were reading the article last night, that wealth inequality in the United States is far worse than the American people even know, because of, obviously, they've been propagandized into submission. And that's okay, I guess, because some Republicans, they feel emboldened, and they feel they've been given permission to say the N-word, so now seniors won't be able to go to the dentist. Oh, God. Oh, God. Wait, I'm looking for this article that Tom Hartman wrote. And it was good. I know I'm all over the place. Because, you know why am I all over the place? It's like, because it's just like, it's the fire hose of news that keeps coming, and it's this incessant sense of dread. Everywhere I look, I'm like, holy shit, we're in trouble. So, for example, so they take the all of these, the good part. I mean, they're also taking out the electric chargers and whatnot. But as Tom Hartman writes, conservatives and billionaires want you to confuse rights of citizenship for welfare. And 100%. He hit the nail on the head. While the safety net prevents personal, family, or community disasters, the rights of citizenship provide the foundation for society itself. So when Joe Manchin goes off about the, what did he say? Entitlement society. What is he say? He is conditioning the American people into thinking that the government will do nothing for you. That you and it's like what happened in Nazi Germany. And and they thought they were free. How, I'm sure you've heard of it. They thought they were free. They thought. Milton Mayer wrote a book after World War II. And his sociologists went to interview the German people to figure out how this democratic society fell into fascism. And one of the more famous segments is that they talk about being removed further and further from the process of governing. And where is it? See, here's a quote. In small gatherings, wait. Surprise. I'm looking for the quote. What happened here was the gradual habituation of the people, little by little, to being governed by surprise. Hold on a second, guys. This is Tara Devlin. So, Milton Mayer writes, what happened here was the gradual habituation of the people, little by little, to being governed by surprise, to receiving decisions deliberated in secret, to believing that the situation was so complicated that the government had to act on information which the people could not understand, or so dangerous that even the people could not understand it, or it couldn't be released because of national security and their sense of identification with Hitler. Their trust of him made it easier to widen this gap and reassure those who would otherwise have worried about it. And that's what's happening here. Further and further removed from government. We're being conditioned. That's what Joe Manchin says when he's talking about an entitlement society, an entitlement mentality. You're not supposed to think about government doing anything for you or me or anybody else. Government is there, period, to give money to the rich and, I guess, defense. That's it. Which basically is not defense. It's aggression. So, as Tom Hartman writes, Senator Joe Manchin, echoing the right-wing billionaires think tank PR and every Republican in Congress, recently said that his objection to free college for students and eyeglasses for seniors, which are now out of the bill, will create an entitlement society, a slur that means a nation of welfare recipients. In that, he displays a fundamental ignorance about what governments do and how societies work, as well as the difference between what we usually call the social safety net and things people should expect simply as a right of citizenship. Hello. And that's it. Don't you expect? I mean, we do expect things. And the Republicans expect these. They expect government to function, too. That's the dirty little secret. They need government. They like government. Conservatives, they want it. They want it for them. They just don't want it for everybody else. It's like Goldilocks. Exactly. Government is just right. That's right. Anthony on the chat says, we don't have a defense department. We have an offense department. Exactly. Defending ourselves, please. So unreal. We have more. It's just unfathomable. Is that a word? Not the way I said it, but you get what I'm saying. That we have so much money, that we are the richest country on earth. What does that mean, though, when people are needlessly dying without health care and seniors can't go to the eye doctor? That's what it means to be a rich country. We take care of our own, right? Wouldn't you have pride in that if you were living in a country where that functioned, that made sense? That's all. Nobody's saying that people can't be rich. Of course, this is what the Republicans and the conservatives, they always conflate. Oh, you're jealous. You, as if, we're saying that being rich in itself is somehow a moral failing, and that's not true. Nobody said that. and nobody ever will, really. But I'm here to say, though, does anybody, one person, really need $1 billion? Because it's about isn't it really about all of us? If one person having $1 billion is detrimental to the entire society as a whole, then you would do things to mitigate that assault on the society you're trying to create, right? You would tax the goddamn rich. That's all. They could still play in the reindeer games, but you got to pay the price of admission. You got to pay your fair share. And if you're rich, good for you. You could be rich, but you need $1 billion. You can't be that rich that you can reach out and control government itself. Because we've lost too many, There are too many cold, early graves. There are too many young people lying in those cold, early graves. Those are the sacrifices for a country where the friggin' rich can pony up. They can. If I could pay my taxes, why can't they? Oh, it's the law. It's all legal. Well, herein lies the moral goddamn corruption of the entire country, and why, we have a lot of work to do. There are things we can do to make it function. Whether we're able to get them done is another story, because of the corruption. That's why I'm like, I wonder. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough when we get to the midterms. It really is. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because I'm like, I really, really, really feel like getting the fuck out of here. And I don't know. All right. So, as Tom Hartman writes, a social safety net is there to catch you when you fall. Unemployment insurance keeps you from becoming homeless when capitalism has one of its periodic hiccups, which is happening. It's not once in a century. We're talking about like once in every 10 years now. There's a crash. FEMA programs provide... here we go. Food stamps tide you over in rough times. FEMA programs provide mobile homes and a stipend to keep people rendered homeless by natural disasters like hurricanes and forest fires alive and well. These are the sorts of things that we generally refer to as welfare. They're there to catch us and keep us from falling through society's floor. They also prevent people from breaking when they fall. Whether it's a temporary hiccup in capitalism, like a recession or depression, or a natural disaster, or a region that's failed to invest in itself so long that there are simply no jobs available. We know, for example, that inequality, along with the poverty and mental illness it causes, drive up cost to society that can be covered with these kinds of help. So these shorter-term programs, or in some cases even longer-term for already wounded people, keep society stable. Finland, for example, is providing free housing for all their homeless. All. Every single one of them. It's cheaper than the police, cheaper than the hospital and mental health services that houseless people otherwise use. But these are still programs to catch people, quote unquote, and to and regions who've fallen or been injured by life. Wait, what the hell am I saying? But these are still programs to catch people and regions who've fallen. This doesn't seem like who've fallen or been injured by life, not to grow and expand society. I'm having a hard time deciphering this sentence, so I'll move on. A citizenship right is something altogether different. It's what nations provide as a right of citizenship to keep society functioning on a normal plane and to help that society grow and improve socially and economically. As citizens of America, for example, we expect good public schools, decent roads, police and fire protections, and functioning government funded by tax dollars to keep it all going. We expect as citizens that when we pay into Social Security and Medicare for our entire lives, those systems will be maintained in a way that keeps us healthy, productive, and out of poverty when we retire, if we retire. While the safety net protects us from personal, family, or community disasters, the rights of citizenship provide the foundation for society itself. The physical infrastructure of a nation makes possible normal life. And the more sophisticated and functional that infrastructure is, the more vibrant a nation's economy will be. I mean, makes sense. Doesn't it? It's embarrassing, really. It's so goddamn simple. This was the core rationale for the Republican president. Well, he was a Republican, Dwight Eisenhower, when he built the interstate highway system. It not only made it easier to visit your grandparents, it also made it easier to transport goods and thus facilitated commerce, leading to the economic boom of the 1950s to 1980s until Reagan. Ditto for advanced air traffic system, quality public transportation, a national high-speed rail system like every other advanced country. My God. Isn't that, just think about that. We're the only country that doesn't have a high-speed rail. We're the best. Aren't we the greatest? The more citizens a country who are college educated, the more competitive and prosperous that nation becomes. So there you go. Why not remove free college? You know what I mean? Why? Who needs to invest when you can turn your nation's young people into indentured servants? Because that's what they're doing. See, they don't consider us to be humans. Apparently, these Republicans, the conservatives, they don't consider us to be human beings. We're nothing but resources, you know? Expendable resources to be exploited and then discarded. So you work, you don't work. If you can't work, you fall sick or something. Oh, well, go die. You get old and frail. You know, it's a consequence of waking up every day. Oh, well. And you can't work anymore? Go die. Oh, you didn't pull yourself up by your bootstraps and inherit your daddy's advertising agency or what, I mean, like Matt Gaetz. Look at him. He is another one. My God. He's a guy whose father was in politics. He's one of these. He's an asshole who used to run around getting drunk in Florida bars yelling, "Do you know who my father is?" That's who Matt Gaetz is. Of course, that's who they all are. Deep down inside, you know, they don't. They want you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's about it. Not only they don't, please, if anybody told them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, they just start weeping because they're such whiners. My God, they don't have boot. What are you talking about? They're born on third goddamn base, thinking they hit a triple. Okay, so infrastructure, as Tom Hartman writes, be it physical or human, is not welfare. It doesn't produce an entitlement society, you prick. Can you believe this shit? We have an entitlement society because people want to go to fucking college? Because we invest in people. After World War II, when the GI Bill helped, of course, white service members who returned from war, and helped invest in them so they could go to school. and get a college education. And it helped create the great prosperity, along with the high top marginal tax rates and all of the trade tax and tariffs that that protected and promoted American manufacturing. So every dollar that was invested in the New Deal, in the GI Bill, returned $6 in tax revenue. So we just basically screwed ourselves over. It's sort of like if somebody came to me, maybe, not me, but I think about this, like Bitcoin. I remember when Bitcoin came out and I'm like, shit, man, why couldn't I have bought a couple of Bitcoin? You know what I mean? At the time, I remember I kick myself every day. That's what it's like. We have just lost the best opportunity to invest in the next generation, that's for sure, and in the future of the country. I mean, I won't be here. I'll be dead. But at that time, I'll probably be like, great, thank God. I mean, let's not get morose and dark. I'm not talking like that. I'm just saying. Let's not go there. I'm not saying, let's keep fighting. Yes. Where is it? The rights of citizenship. The physical infrastructure makes it possible makes normal life possible. I like that. It makes sense, of course. Ditto for the advanced air traffic system. This is what I just read. The same is true for human infrastructure of a nation. The more citizens a country has who are college educated, the more competitive and prosperous that nation becomes. The better the health of a country, the more reliable and efficient its workforce. When government helps young parents care for their children, it frees them up to fully participate in the commercial and civic life of the country. Isn't that what it means to be a great country? Because look at us. Wouldn't that be great, right? Look at here. Look what we got. We have a community that's with paved roads, clean water, clean air, clean streets, clean roads. You know what I mean? Functioning. We should be proud of this. We are so successful that no one here needlessly dies without health care. That's how successful we are. We are the richest country on earth. Everybody gets to have health care. Everybody you want to go to college? You could go. You can go to college. You can go to trade school. You could go to college and even study things like women's studies. My God. Could you imagine? That's the mark of a civilization. Republicans are always, when did there was a video I played of Candace Owens. She was going off about, I think she was going off about women's studies, gender studies. That's what she was saying. Gender. They're very triggered by peepees. And it's bizarre. I don't know. But I'm looking for that video. Who cares? But yeah. That's what, if there's nothing to be ashamed of going to a gender study class, that's, the Republicans are like, well, you want to be successful, go to school don't go for liberal arts or gender studies, or yes, we should all go and be what? High frequency traders or business. We all need a business degree. That's it. Because the pinnacle, apparently, in Republican evolution, in human evolution, according to Republicans, the top of the food chain is the businessman. You understand? They're the best, the greatest, the biggest, the best, the most amazing people that ever lived. It doesn't matter Everybody else doesn't matter. You're a beautiful singer, artist, dancer. That's whatever. Business. You gotta be, you know what I mean? This is how disgusting they are. Their society that they create. What kind of society? That's why they hate diversity, because it's beautiful. Beautiful colors of the rainbow. When they live in a goddamn black and white world, they live in the Wizard of Oz black and white section. That's what it's like. And then you open up, then you go into whatever. What am I saying? I don't know. Thus, infrastructure, be it physical or human, is not welfare. It doesn't produce an entitlement society. Instead, it's the core foundation on which a functional society rests. And this is why we do the show. To get this into the consciousness of the American people. Because if this was in the consciousness of the American people, we'd be unstoppable. There would be no way they could stop us. But they have us so twisted and divided that I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, if this is changing in my lifetime, I'd be surprised. Another way, but even though, let me not get completely morose, and I know I'm sounding that way tonight, but I have been surprised before, okay? This country has pulled a rabbit out of a hat at certain occasions. For example, the election of Barack Obama. Even though that was the trigger point for these pricks who, they hate America, they're racists, they're ignorant, they're idiots. Same thing, of course. So Barack Obama was the national Rorschach test. Whoever looked at Obama projected their hopes and fears, whatever they might be. To me, I was projecting my hope for a new FDR, and I was disappointed, to say the least. And for what did the Republicon? They looked at Barack Obama and saw the end of them. They saw the end of what? I guess their white privilege. They saw the end of. Because, really. And this is the backlash. We're in it right now. All right. Here we go. Not understanding. As Tom Hartman says, the rights of citizenship, like infrastructure, are investments. They pay returns and dividends. Invest X, and over years or decades, you'll get a multitude of X in return. Even police and fire, when run right, keep neighborhoods crime-free and facilitate commerce growing. And I'm wrong punctuation. Commerce growing in the local economy. New transportation, education, and healthcare infrastructure built prosperity and attract investment in the larger community. Not understanding this simple distinction is the major failure of neoliberal and conservative politicians, guided in large part by the so-called think tanks and pundits, funded by right-wing billionaires, who frankly don't care about either welfare or rights of citizenship or anything else. After all, being morbidly rich billionaires, they don't need any of it. They don't need the infrastructure of a country. They can afford the best health care in the world with their pocket change. They can travel on private jets outside of public airports and never even have to go through security. They can send their kids to the best private schools in the world, regardless of the local tax base. And since welfare and infrastructure are both funded by tax dollars, which the morbidly rich go to great lengths to avoid paying, pushing politicians to reject both only adds more dollars to their money bins and otherwise would have gone to taxes. While Joe Manchin's understanding of the fundamental high school civics differences in government programs is disappointing, it shouldn't be surprising. He was born into wealth and is himself a multimillionaire coal baron. Living on the, where is it? Living on the largest yacht at my old home. This is Tom Hartman writing, the Capitol Yacht Club. But Joe Biden, who spent his life traveling home from D.C. to Delaware every weekend on public transportation via Amtrak, understands this at gut level. New roads, bridges, and broadband infrastructure are investments that will return dividends to society and our economy. He knows that strengthening our infrastructure strengthens our nation. Well, that's why Republicans don't like it. They need us nice and weak. Biden understands that replacing fossil fuel-based energy infrastructure with a made-in-America renewable like solar and wind will reduce our dependence on brutal foreign oligarchs like Saudi Arabia's murderous Mohammed bin Bonsa, while producing power for generations with little more than simple maintenance. He knows, this is what Tom Hartman writes, he writes that Biden knows that sending young people to college at no or little cost is as is done in every other advanced democracy on this godforsaken planet that Jeff Bezos saw from high, way up high. He saw the big blue marble. He's waiting for the rest of the human race to see it, though. And then we'll all have this collective spiritual awakening. And then, guess what? We'll have high marginal tax rates. Is that it? Once we all... How many billions are on the planet? Let's see. How many people on Earth? I think I've asked this question before because it came up in my queue. 7.753 billion? 7.753 billion. Wow. So once all those let's say close to 8 billion, once we all get up there, those 8 billion get up there, well, there's only, how many seats are on that Blue Origin dick-shaped rocket? I think there's like 6 seats. It's going to take a long-ass time to get all near 8 billion of us up there so we could all look at at Earth. Right? And let's do it together. Let me see. The world's a big blue marble. When you see it from out there. How you feeling now? Do you feel this? Are you having a spiritual awakening? I mean, I already felt that way. I knew we were all connected. I didn't need to go up to space. I've seen it. I've just seen a picture of the planet. And I knew. I didn't even need to see a picture. What am I talking about? I didn't need a picture. I didn't need to build a rocket and go to space to see Earth from the rim of space. And then I can be so amazed and touched that I don't stand in the way of progress and try to corrupt politicians and destroy democracy? The world is a big blue marble. It's gonna take a long time to get, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be around by the time everybody gets up there. All right. Progressives working on Biden's legislative agenda realize that providing people with a robust and low-cost healthcare system is an investment in our ultimate infrastructure. Without healthy workers, there's no reliable economy. With healthy workers, an economy becomes ever more vibrant, which is why every other developed country in the world has universal health care. Okay? Oh my God. Every other country in the world except the U.S. provides free or low-cost universal health care and takes care of all their seniors' medical needs, including their goddamn teeth, eyes, and ears. Well, it'd be great if only seniors didn't have heads. That's why you're nothing. You know what I mean? Just take your head off and everything. We'll cover the rest of you. Oh, God. Right-wing billionaire propaganda aside, these are not welfare or entitlements, and they don't cause people to become lazy or refuse work like Matt Getz. As we strengthen and build back better, quote unquote, our physical and human infrastructure, we simultaneously strengthen our nation while moving us into a cleaner and safer and more reliable future. You think? You think? In every other developed country in the world, these are simple rights of citizenship. And they should be here, too, if we want to compete in the economy of the 21st century. That's for sure. And improve our slipping status as a first world nation. That's what Tom Hartman wrote. Spot on again. My name is Tara Devlin. What the hell? Guys, this is the end of... Oh, no, it's not. I thought it was the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show, but it's not. What am I doing? We have an hour left. Time, well, you know how time flies sometimes when we're doing the show. First of all, I haven't checked in. Guys, thank you, Jim, for your super chat. Thank you, JD, for your super chat. JD writes, love you all. That's good, Jim. Thank you. I love you too. And it must be nice to be able to be free to love. I personally, us here, we have to fight fascism. We have no time for love. But we'll squeeze it in. Especially in the Tarabuster chat room. And thank you, Errol Thomas, for your super chat. What would be the perfect trick or treat for Republic clowns, including those who support them? That's a good thing to discuss. What would be the perfect trick or treat? You know what you should do? Nah, I don't know. Well, that's what I was thinking maybe you would. Whatever. Throw in like a lollipop and write Trump lost or something. Nah. Leave the kids out of it. Leave the kids alone. Let them have their day. Fight fascism another day. And thank you, Richard W., for your super chat. Another great show, Tara. Thank you. Very kind, Richard. Really. Too kind sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. I need more kindness. Don't we do? We do. We need kindness. And in fact, that's how we were starting the show. And I was completely sickened. Right before we went on air, I was I was reviewing some of the tweets and whatnot, and the statements, the Republicans mocking Alec Baldwin. I mean, it's just disgusting. And it made me very sad. That's what it was. It makes me sad. And immediately I go right to anger. Jesus Christ. Well, oh yeah. Like I was saying earlier in the show, we were talking about Alec Baldwin briefly. And Tim Ryan replied, because what is it? Just hours after the incident broke, Ohio Senate candidate J.D. Vance was gloating about the situation. "Dear Jack," he wrote, tagging Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, "let Trump back on. We need Alec Baldwin tweets." Oh, because there's been a tragic accident? Right. Oh, God. Republicans, you're so funny. Please. But he wasn't the only one. Well, Tim Ryan wrote back, "Someone died, you asshole." Good. Of course, the asshole was edited a little bit. But he wasn't the only one deriding Baldwin in the wake of the tragedy. Conservative commentator, is that what we can call her? Candace Owens? Commentator? How about liar? Propagandist? Joseph Goebbels? Just go right to the Nazis. In a since deleted tweet, well, which goes to show you that they do have some capacity for shame. "What happened to Alec would be poetic justice if it weren't for the actual innocent people that were murdered by him." She later added, "We'll correct that last tweet to say Alec Baldwin killed someone, not murdered someone, as murder carries a different legal definition." Aren't they sweet? Aren't Republicans great? What do they bring to the table again? Anybody? I'm serious. Can anybody, let's try it right now. Are there any good qualities in the Republican Party? Does anybody know? I don't know. I'll give you a minute to think about it. If you have any examples, just please share them in the chat and I'll read them out. But I'm wondering, man, what are the redeeming qualities? Right before I went on air, not just I went on air, we went on air. There was a story came out on CNN about Marjorie Taylor Greene. You probably heard Marjorie Taylor Greene is, she doesn't have any work. Talk about who's going to teach Marjorie Taylor Greene the dignity of work? Because she hasn't worked a day in her rotten, useless life. Really. That's why she's got so much time to fall down a Q hole. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, what was it? She yelled. So she's now, her job is basically she's a troll. They're all trolls. That's the Republican way. They're liars and they're trolls. And they get paid for it. It's crazy. But the psychology of trolls. They've done studies on this. I think trolls are sociopaths. Psychology. Let me see. It is, here's right on the top of Google. Trolling can cause significant harm and distress. It is associated with serious physical and psychological effects, including disrupted sleep, lowered self-esteem, depression, self-harm, suicide ideation, and in some cases, even suicide. Jesus Christ. Because it says, new research shows that trolls don't just enjoy hurting others. It also makes them feel good about themselves to hurt others. there is an urgent need to understand why people troll. Recent Australian estimates show about 1 in 3 internet users have experienced online harassment. Several research studies construct the physical, I don't know, I have dyslexia sometimes. Construct the physical profile of trolls. Not physical, psychological. And it is in a document, in a study, titled Psychopathy, Sadism, Empathy, and the Motivation to Cause Harm. New evidence confirms malevolent nature of the internet troll. And I'm reading this because that's Republicans. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene. They are professional trolls. There's something very wrong with them. Where is it? In a recent study, the researchers said they wanted to see if trolling was linked to self-esteem. Do people troll because they have low self-worth? In a scientific literature, internet trolling is defined as the malicious online behavior. Blah, blah, blah. Trolling can refer to a variety of behavior. Blah, blah, blah. Let me show you what I'm looking at so we can read it together. All right. The research showed that gender, psychopathy, and sadism were all significant independent predictors of malevolent trolling. That is, if you are male and have high psychopathy or high sadism, you are more likely to troll. The most powerful predictor of trolling was sadism. The more someone enjoys hurting others, the more likely they will troll. Self-esteem was not an independent predictor of trolling. However, we found that self-esteem interacts with sadism. So if a person had high levels of sadism, they were more likely to troll. So what do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene's all about? So what does this mean? These results have important implications. First, based on the results, we understand that the internet troll, as someone who is callous, lacks a sense of personal responsibility, and enjoys causing harm to others. That's the Republican platform. They don't have a platform anymore. It's subservience to Trump. But this is the platform. Callous, lack of personal responsibility, and enjoying causing harm to others. God damn it. That's the Republicans. Oh, yes. The significance of psychopathy in the results also indicates that trolls have an empathy deficit. And what do we talk about on the show all the time? Empathy and humanity, being interconnected, and how Mother Nature instilled empathy in us. We can put ourselves in the shoes of others. We feel what others can feel. Because we're supposed to care about other people as if they are ourselves. That's what Mother Nature gave us. That's what, if you believe in God, that's what the Creator put in us. There's other species that don't feel what others feel. I feel your pain. That's a very human thing, of course. And I don't know. Everything that the Republicans stand for is inhumane. Selfishness, greed, self-servingness, meanness, callousness, cruelty, indifference. So Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently she harassed again her colleagues on the floor of the House, screaming and yelling at them. That's all she does, screaming and yelling. Is this the behavior of a mentally stable adult? So Jim Acosta caught up with little Margie Q, and he asked her about her antics.
Committee investigating the January 6th attack is getting
low,
ready to hear from a key witness while the fight over another continues. CNN has learned Jeffrey Clark, a former Justice Department official who pushed the big lie and was a central player in Trump's effort to overturn the election results in key states, is expected to testify next Friday.
Sorry,
he will be the first Trump administration official to comply with a subpoena, unlike Steve Bannon, who is now facing possible criminal prosecution for refusing to testify. Lawmakers believe the former Trump advisor has critical information pointing to a comment he made on his podcast the day before the riot.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow.
All hell. All right. Here we go. Here's the Marjorie Taylor Greene part.
Contempt of Congress. There was even some drama on the House floor.
Look at that shit.
When Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene confronted two members of the January 6th
confronted them. Look at her. There she is. Hey, how come you're indicting or subpoenaing Steve Bannon, you traitors? You know, he's not supposed to be to be accountable to the law. How come? You're a traitor. Traitor. Lies. Big lie. Trump won. There she is. That's her job. How much does she get paid? What's her salary? Holy shit. How much? I think it's like, is it the same as a senator? It might not be as much. How much does a House of Representatives make? Oh yeah, look at that. They're kind of the same. It says congressional salaries. It just says legislators make $174,000. Is that right? Oh, well, Junior. I don't know about that. I don't know if you heard the cat screaming at me. She makes $174 friggin' $1,000 for this. For doing that? For the hands going and the lies and the mouth. I mean, every time she opens her mouth, it's like you hear nothing but the horrors of the pits of hell. That's what it's like.
Raskin waving her hands and calling the vote on Bannon a joke. Now, I went up to
It's a joke. It's a joke. Really? This is the House of Representatives. You unhinged Twitter troll. You're making $174,000 a year to be a troll. So why don't you shut your face? Just shut your face.
Asked Marjorie Taylor Greene about that moment, and here's what she told me. And what about that confrontation with Congresswoman Cheney? Why did that happen?
She's a traitor.
She's a traitor.
Yeah.
She's a traitor because she voted to hold Steve Bannon accountable and refer the fact that he violated a subpoena. He didn't want to show up. Because you got to show up, asshole. You're not above the law. You want to take the fifth? That's another story. Go right ahead. But you don't get to decide whether you're going to be called in front of the goddamn Congress of the United States. But, of course, Republicans, being a Republican means never saying you're sorry. And, of course, personal responsibility. They only take responsibility. They never take responsibility. Of course, they only use that motto when they're trying to strip, seniors of health care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, and dentures. Look at her. She's a traitor. Every word that comes out of these pricks' mouth. Traitor. You're a traitor. 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 Traitor and patriot, right? Traitor. Traitor. Patriot. Freedom. Traitor. Patriot. Freedom. they know nothing. They're the traitor. You want to see a traitor? I found the traitor, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and there she is looking. I'm looking right at her. The traitor is you, Greene, whatever your name is.
Confrontation with Congresswoman Cheney. Why did that happen?
She's a traitor.
She's a traitor.
Yeah.
And Bannon's not a traitor, though, right? He's the one. He wants to deconstruct the administrative state, meaning he wants to destroy the bureaucracy of this country, which is democracy itself. He wants to tear down, like all those things. When you get into trouble, let's say there's a natural disaster. You know, Republicans, they want all the benefits of society. They just don't want to share. That's what it's about. So they want government, too. They want, if there's a natural disaster, they want to be able to call up and say, help, I need help. Can't you do something for me here? Nope, sorry, bitch, you're on your own. That's the world Republicans want to create. Oh, well, you got flooded out? You don't have a home? Oh, fucking well. Oh, well. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We are driven here. We're free. This is freedom. It's freedom. Oh, you're free to go F off and die. But government's not there to provide help. It's there to funnel money into Joe Manchin's pockets, and now the pockets of Marjorie Taylor Greene. The worst part of all of this, of her and of just knowing that she's in Congress, is that she's going to come out of this a millionaire. She will. I mean, of course, she sucks just like Trump. She sucks at business. She sucks with money. But she's going to grift and line her own pockets while destroying everything that makes this country great. Oh, wait, I hit the wrong button. She's a traitor.
She's a traitor?
Yeah.
How can you say that?
Pretty easy.
Look at this shit.
We then caught up with Greene a second time, and I asked her why she would not hold Bannon in contempt. What was the rationale behind your vote?
The rationale behind my vote is I'm not self-absorbed like the rest of these jerks here in Congress. They're all ignoring inflation. People can hardly buy food.
People can hardly buy food? Have she seen the Trumpanzees lately? I think they'll be okay. People can hardly buy food. Yes, we're starving here. We have nothing. It's nothing but roaches and Marjorie Taylor Greene left. All right, guys, this is the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. Thanks for hanging out. And I appreciate your support. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. And keep the liberal media going and growing. That's how you got to do it. Yep, because we will win if we have a liberal media that functions and we fight with the courage of our convictions, because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. Not bad that time. All right. She's a traitor. Look at her fucking face.
People that pay all the taxes. All you want to talk about is your Trump derangement syndrome, and all you want to talk about is January 6th, where there's a riot here.
Why protect Steve Bannon?
Look at this shit.
Because I care about American people.
People. Why would you allow Steve Bannon to skirt a subpoena and not face any consequences? Because of the people. Everyone. Oh, I completely understand. The American people need to know that Steve Bannon is above the law. Oh, I get it. Why would you allow Steve Bannon to face absolutely no consequences? The people. I rest my case.
Syndrome, and all you want to talk about is January 6th.
And look,
a riot here.
So this guy, what's his name? He's a Republican. He sees Jim Acosta, who's a boogeyman on the right, of course, because, you know, he tells the truth. Talking to this horrible human being, and he's got to come over and interject and rescue her because she's a snowflake. She's very fragile.
Steve Bannon.
Because I care about American people.
People. Oh, I see. Well, answer me this, bitch. Can the American people choose to ignore a subpoena from the Congress, I guess, or anybody else? Okay. So we got a free pass.
The interview ended soon after when fellow Republican Congressman Pete Sessions of Texas walked into the middle of our conversation.
So, you doing okay?
You doing okay? Look at that. You hear this shit? This is why I'm like, they're such frauds. My God. Everything about them. They're so full of shit. And we have to endure their constant, I'm so tough. You're a snowflake. Look at these snowflakes. You doing all right here? Oh, somebody's asking you questions? Aw. Poor Bobby. Your $174,000 a year for doing absolutely nothing should be able to cushion the blow of a question from a reporter. Aw, you doing okay here, Margie? Come on, I'm fine. Let's go walk together away from these questions that have to do with truth. And let's get our asses onto OAN or something.
Hey, what about all the people that are rotting in jail? Why don't you worry about them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and you see how she's being pulled away. Hey, why don't you worry about all those very patriotic fascists that are rotting in jail, all for all they did was try to wipe their asses with the Constitution. Why don't you think about them for a change? I'm sick of thinking about them. How about that? I need them to rot. I would like them to rot in jail to the point where we forget about them completely. All memory of them is erased. Right? That's how much I would love them to. I want to see them rotting in jail. Just shove them somewhere and forget all about them. Won't that be great? There's so many other things. God damn it. I keep on. Well, I don't know. There's so many other things. Here's another, going back to the Alec Baldwin thing. It wasn't just that guy, Vance. Lauren Boebert also jumped on the bandwagon. Yes. Boebert dug up a 7-year-old tweet Baldwin had sent in support of Michael Brown, the 18-year-old black man fatally shot by a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, and she added a snide and ugly remark. What? That's all the remarks they have, though. That's weird. And posted it to Twitter. Only too happy to use the pain of Hutchins and the grieving family, friends, and industry as a tool to attack Baldwin. Can you believe this? Look, I want to show you this tweet. It's horrific. We're gonna make it after all one day. Maybe one day. Who knows? We're gonna make it after all. Look at that. Alec Baldwin tweeted in 2014, I'm going to make a bright banana yellow t-shirts that read, "My hands are up, please don't shoot me, who wants one?" And Lauren Boebert finds this tweet and retweets it back to him saying, "Are these still available? Asking for a movie producer." Really? Wow. What do you do with this, with these people? What is the remedy? From Russ Story. QAnon Republicon lawmaker and gun rights asshole Lauren Boebert is being criticized after posting a tweet mocking and attacking Alec Baldwin. Okay, we know why. The outrage was palpable even from a few on the right, like former Trump White House Director of Strategic Communications, Alyssa Farah. Who cares? If you're going to tout your Christian faith, how about trying to have some empathy and grace? Well, there you go. Don't remember the part of the gospel that says anything for RTs, for retweets, and hence, this is one of my million problems with the conservatives, is that they're complete and utter hypocrites. I wish they were as religious, or I wish they really did love Jesus, frankly. Really, we wouldn't be having these problems. We wouldn't have, that's not good English. I know that. We wouldn't be having these. A member of Congress is using her taxpayer-funded salary to dig up 7-year-old tweets to troll a man she's never met in what's probably the worst moment of his life. Shame doesn't even begin to describe this. Of course, maybe this is where the normal people of Earth say stop. You know how Republicans, what's his name? William Buckley said, conservatism stands athwart history yelling stop. Well, maybe this is when the normal people of Earth stand athwart history yelling stop. Enough. God damn it. Enough with your ugliness, your cruelty, your disgraceful, inhumane, immoral, unconscionable, unhinged behavior. Haven't we had enough? Kendall Brown tweeted, so you just straight up don't give a fuck that there's a grieving family who just lost their loved one and can see you joking about their loved one's tragic death? And Navarro writes, you really have to be the most ghoulish, heartless, shittiest excuse for a human being to use a tragic accident that cost a young woman her life to attempt to crack a joke at Alec Baldwin's expense. It's ugly. But that's all they got. You know what I mean? Ugly, actually ugly would be an improvement on them. The party of family values, ladies and gentlemen. This vile creature is reveling in a tragic death. She's using that horrible accident as a weapon in order to attack someone who is undoubtedly suffering. This is who she is. She is grotesque. She is an embarrassment to Congress. I'm just reading some tweets. This fact makes me so sad. This is the kind of person we have representing Americans. Now, do you have that in England, JD? Do you have people like this? I'm assuming you're in England. I might be wrong. Do you have complete and utter sociopaths representing you? And do you have fellow citizens who vote for them. Millions of them. You know, it's not the outlier. I mean, how is it even a squeaker? And I have to tell you, I don't know. When I was watching Obama tonight, we talk about, well, we couldn't get this, but we got that. It's getting a little better. We didn't do this, we got that. This is great. I understand. We couldn't get this, but we couldn't fix everybody. We couldn't have universal health care, but we have some health care. That's an improvement. And that's all you get. So you just be happy with what you get, because that's all we can get. Because everything is just too effed up beyond all repair. There's no, what can you do? It's politics is the art of the possible, they keep saying. Never mind the fact that it's not just about it's not regular order. This is an existential crisis. Whether we're deciding whether we survive as a democracy, you know, or I mean, because we will survive. There will be a country. There's going to be land here. There'll be a country, whether it's a constitutionally limited democratic republic or a sham constitutionally limited democratic republic where we all go through the motions of an election and hope that this time it's not rigged. Like many other human beings on the planet are doing right now. Decent people, you know, who fought. They fought the rise of their autocrat, and they failed. I don't know. If we fail, it won't be because we didn't fight, because we've been fighting. It will be because the establishment is goddamn too broken and corrupt to even see. And there are so many older representatives and senators that I think have been in there just too long. And I'm not one of these people that are for term limits as far as that is concerned, because I don't think that constantly rehashing or recycling or you know, whatever it might be, constantly getting new representatives, that's not the solution. The solution is getting money out of politics, because until you get money out of politics, it doesn't matter. You could recycle as many, or not recycle, or bring in a new representative however many years if they get term limited out. But what will happen at that point is that the only people who are consistent in the halls of power are the money people, are the lobbyists, are the people who are handing out the bribes. God, I always remember when John Boner handed out checks on the floor of the House? Remember that? And that was a big goddamn scandal. Man, oh, those were the days. John Boner checks. And he was very embarrassed about it, and it was reported, and then he had to apologize. Because we're utter and absolute hypocrites. It doesn't matter that they're getting the checks. Just don't hand them out on the floor. That's unseemly. Make sure you give it to them in the back door. You know what I mean? Nobody knows. Yeah, he got caught red-handed distributing tobacco company checks to fellow members on the House floor. It's like, yeah, here's your check. Here's your check. All right, keep those votes coming, bitch. Keep them coming. Keep those electric charging stations from ever materializing. Well, that's the Not the tobacco industry, but you get the point. Keep those lungs black and keep the addiction and the early needless death going. Yes, people are passing out. The people passing out the checks won. That was a statement from Representative Steve Largent. Big Tobacco made nice with Boner. Over his 14 years in the House, Boner received $500,000 in direct contributions from the tobacco industry. Well, there you go. I don't know, man. We're in big trouble. I had so many other things to talk about tonight, too. And I apologize, I didn't get to everything. I am a little bit all over the place. What is this shit? Wait a minute. And I guess, you know, we'll save the Trump, what do you call it? His social media launch. I mean, I just want to look at the time. Actually, we do have some time. Let's talk about that. That might be a little bit less heavy at this point, you know? So let's talk about Trump's social media platform quickly. It's social media platform. So Trump is we know he's a con man, and he hasn't ever had an original idea in his life. He's a incredibly boring person who just wants shit put in him so he doesn't have to feel like the inadequate con man that he is. That's what it's about. That's why he wants, stuff, greed, money, women or whores. Yeah, that's how he looks at it. And he just more stuff, hamburger, all of the corpses that walking orange turd shoved down his gullet. Ugh, thinking about all those poor cows that kept him alive. You know what I mean? They had to sacrifice their lives. Not only did they have to be butchered for the disgusting big the meat industry, then they have to become a Big Mac for the con man. So the con man could go like, bing, bing, bring me a Big Mac and a Jack, and what is he like? Oh, your Diet Coke, right. Well, he's a loser, and he's never had an original idea. That's why all his ideas are nothing but derivative knockoffs of things done successfully. He sucks. He hasn't ever had a successful business. His business is marketing. That's it. He's nothing but a huckster. So he sees the market of disaffected fascists who don't have a political platform, I suppose, or they feel like they don't have a place where they can bring the truth, which is the meaning tell lies. They're being kicked off of social media. They say it's because of their conservative viewpoints. When what I didn't know that that fallacy is a viewpoint. But okay. They'll take it. And so Trump sees a captive audience of assholes who will do anything he says. This is nothing but a con. And that's what it's, you know what? It's almost poetic justice that the country dissolves and is destroyed by a con. Because in some ways, it's always been a con. The more we try to become, to make ourselves into, to not be hypocrites, the more we become, try to actualize our founding promises, then that's when everything goes to shit. All the while, when it's a scam, when it's a bullshit scam that we're telling ourselves, then the Republicans can play along. But when we actually try to have and create that functioning democratic republic that promotes the general welfare, the multiracial democratic republic that promotes the general welfare, then that's when the Republicans lose their minds. And the being kicked off of social media, they're all like, their conservative viewpoint, they just don't like conservatives. Well, it's not about conservative, because what is a conservative viewpoint at this point, really? It is nothing but lies. That's your conservative viewpoint. It's a conservative viewpoint that Trump won. Well, that's not the truth, you stupid bastards, and I'm sick of repeating myself. God damn it. Don't you have any pride? Just accept it. Take the loss. Because guess what? You won, too. That's the irony of it all, is that they won. Not just us. We all won getting rid of that con man. But, oh well. Now he just won't die. It's like the monster at the end of the movie. You think he's dead, and then all of a sudden it's like in the background. He rises up. That's what's happening. But, in keeping with Trump's, he's a grifter, and in keeping with his inability to ever have a success, Donald Trump's social media platform was hacked just hours after it was announced. Not even launched. They hacked it. Hackers gained access to a private version of the asshole's recently announced social media platform and posted images of defecating pigs, expletives, and more. Aw. Oh, Internet. You didn't disappoint me this time. The hackers affiliated with the hacking collective, known as Anonymous, told the New York Times that the move was part of their online war against hate. Using a false account dubbed Donald J. Trump, the hackers posted photos of the pigs, wrote profane rants against Twitter's CEO Jack Dorsey, and made a fake account for Trump. Not just for Trump, but for Steve Bannon. Hackers posted memes from fake accounts for Trump and former Vice President Mike Pence and others. We had fun. We had a fun time trolling it to high heaven, said Aubrey Cottle, a hacker affiliated with Anonymous. Cottle told multiple outlets that the group picked up clues after the site, named Truth Social, made its app available for pre-order on the App Store, and users were able to join a waiting list for its release. And the hackers claimed these pieces provided enough information to access a version of the platform. The hackers... Oh, that must have been so much fun. I wish I was a hacker at that point. I always wish that I could be like... And then I'd be into the Pentagon or something. Where I can disarm all the nuclear weapons and save all the animals. Not Republican. Leave the Republicans alone. Leave them back. Leave them. Build a wall. Whatever. Forget them. Set them and forget them. The hackers gained access just hours after the Truth Social was announced. The app later barred new accounts and was pulled offline because they didn't know what to do. They don't know what they're doing. This Truth Social was just some kind of off-the-shelf thing that they put their branding on. That's all. It's like open source code. It's not like they hired somebody to create this thing. They're just derivative assholes looking to grift. Putting in as little investment as possible. They're not even investing in somebody who can write and build a program. They're just stealing it from they're making somebody else do the work as usual for free, and they're exploiting it, and they're not even providing the safeguards that we not only have come to expect but need in our new world where we're all connected by this internet. Not only are we connected spiritually and psychically and physically and emotionally, we're connected on the internet as well. A Washington Post reporter was also able to register and post under an account called Mike Pence. So just a reporter, not even a hacker. You know what I mean? They were like, oh shit, hackers are on the loose in Donald Trump's new platform. Let me see. Maybe I can get in there too. And they, look at that. They could. Just a reporter, not a hacker, not somebody with special skills. I wish I had known that this was happening. I would have definitely taken, I don't know, had some fun. And so the article continues, you can't make this stuff up, they said. They thought it was such a treasure trove of exploitable code. Trump was blocked from Twitter. Well, we know this. Yes, YouTube and Facebook. Twitter has said its ban is permanent. Facebook said it could return in 2023. F you. YouTube has said its ban will be lifted after a risk of violence lowers. Well, that's never. Trump said in his statement that Truth Social and Trump Media and, well, it's called Media and Technology Group. I wonder if Rudy Giuliani's involved in that. Will stand up to the tyranny of big tech. Oh, okay. The platform is expected to be released in the first quarter of 2022. First quarter. Like Trumpansies know when that is. Oh my God. Here's Donald Trump Jr. announcing it.
My father signed a definitive merger agreement to form what will ultimately be the Trump Media and Technology Group. And
such bullshit. It's nothing but smoke. Do you feel that smoke up your ass? Pay it no mind. It's bullshit. The Trump Technology and Media Group. It's amazing. They just what they do. They put their, it's like something I could do. Upload some logos onto an already created open source code. That's what they did. No serious social media platform would do that. It's ridiculous.
Truth Social, a platform for everyone to express their feelings. Big tech and all of those on the left.
Their feelings were hurt. To express their feelings. They have no place to express their feelings. Like what? Their feelings that Alec Baldwin's, the tragic accident that Alec Baldwin is involved in is hilarious. I'm sorry. I know. I love that laughter. That's their feelings. I thought they were like, fuck your feelings. I've seen shirts. Republicans, they're only fuck your feelings when we're trying to ensure that nobody dies needlessly without health care. I see. Right. Then they're like, fuck your feelings. But when it comes to, saying the N-word, they need a place to say that. to express their feelings, because they can't express their feelings in normal civilization because they're just not normal. And we're done with them. They need to join the rest of the fascists in history's trash pile, where they're comfortable there. See, I'm fine with them forming their own little social media world and their own silos of information, of false information, of course. I'm just not for them taking this alternate universe and trying to force it on us. That's what they're doing. Trying to force their alternative universe. They want us all to live in this effing bullshit universe they created, where freedom is strength, right? Not freedom. I mean, slavery is freedom, and every day is opposite day. And Donald Trump is a successful billionaire. Such a successful billionaire. What successful billionaire can't hire somebody to write code for a program? Anybody? A successful billionaire out there? What successful billionaire would just pull friggin' open source code off the web and then make an announcement like this?
Their feelings. Big tech and all of those on the left for so long, Sean, have been saying, well, if you don't like the rules that we really enforce only one way on our platforms, go create your own. And so we did just that. So that's going to launch very soon. We're going to be in beta testing in the next few weeks. Full launch first quarter of 22. 2 weeks! It's going to be exciting, and we're looking to give a voice back to the American people.
A voice? The American people need to shut the fuck up and listen. What do you mean a voice? They don't know when to shut up. Talk half as... What is that? Listen more than you talk? I don't know. What the fuck? First of all, the other thing is, look at Donald Trump Jr.'s eyes. He's using again. There's no doubt. But of course, doesn't have the courage to ask for help. So, oh well, who cares? It's incredible. Truth Social, the Trump Media and Technology Group. Yeah, right. Okay, honey. The first quarter. It's great. Wait. Well, anyway, it's Trump takes advantage of Wall Street. I know we only have like 2 minutes left. That's why it's hard to. I can't really get into anything new at this point. But yeah. So he's getting money apparently from I don't know. We can't get into it. It's the show is almost over. So special purpose acquisition companies or reversal of initial public offerings, sometimes called blank check companies, called SPACs. This is where Trump is getting money, backing his latest goddamn failed business. His next failed business. And here we go. Follow the truth. Truth Social. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I wonder if it's like... I mean, it's not even like Parler. Or any of them. Because it's not original. All right, guys. Where is Kimberly Gargoyle? I don't know, Andrea. That is true. That is very, very true. Perhaps the bloom is off the rose. and the young love has faded. My friends, listen up. We will win. My name is Tara Devlin. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Alice Jenna, for your super chat. You're the best. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. All right. My friends, you make me want to get out of bed in the morning. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. You want to see the cats? Fine. Here's one. Here's one of them. Say hi to everybody. I love this cat. Oh, I'm sorry for embarrassing you. Mwah, mwah. Do you hear the way he talks to me? Do you hear this brat? This little brat. Aw, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I love you. Oh my God, Paul. Thank you for your super chat, Paul. Right under the wire. All right. Let's hope that we'll do a show the next couple of days. Definitely not tomorrow. Probably not Monday. Maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see. You're the best. I also have to apologize. I feel very out of sorts lately. So thank you for... Thank you for support. I just feel, you know what it is? I just feel very, I'm trying to, well, how do I explain it? I feel, I don't want to get dark, you know, but I feel alarmed. Okay. What's the best way to put it? I do. I'm incredibly alarmed, and it's weighing on me. All right, so we'll talk about it later. All right, my friends, I gotta go get the show ready for Progressive Voices, and hit the unconscious button, and dream about a beautiful world where conservatives are a permanent minority. Isn't that wonderful? Legally and peacefully, of course, you know. Just put them in their place. They're not capable of leadership. God. All right, we have a lot of work to do, and we will continue. ASAP. You're the best. And thank you again. My name is Tara Devlin. You know it. If you can become a patron, please do. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Support the independent liberal media. There are a bunch of us out here. Like Mike Malloy. I'll get Mike Malloy on the show soon. All right? That's a promise. And Robyn Kincaid. Of course, Mark Middlestaedt. Shaping Progress. Remember to subscribe and join Shaping Progress. We'll also need to get Mark back on the show too. All right? Now that we're talking about it, and I see Mark in the chat room. All right, my friends. Yes. Haiku says Trumpist proved devolution is real. Yes. That is true. So sad. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You have 4 cats, Alice. Congratulations. I have 3. I'd have more if I had a bigger place. Maybe one day. All right. Listen up. You're the best. You notice I never want to. I just never want to stop. I like you. That's why. All right, guys. I'll go now. I swear. I'll see you. I swear. I'll see you very soon.